In this video, I am reviewing the Loctote Cinch pack, which I'm genuinely pretty impressed with. So let's get into it. So you may have seen recently that I put up a post about the Flat Sack 2 from Loctote, and this is one of their products. This is not the one I'm going to review today, but I've tried this one. I'm definitely going to review it in future, but the one I'm talking about today is their Cinch pack. And I was sent this for a collaboration that I did for a really cool trip through some Brizzy roads, which came out super well, and that will be on YouTube soon, so keep an eye out for that. But in that video I used the Cinch pack. I love backpacks. I don't think that's much of a secret. I've got a couple of go-tos. I recently retired my Crumpler V La V. It was a big, super sturdy, super big volume backpack, but I had it for about 2 years. I used it pretty consistently in that time every day. I traveled overseas with it, and so it's just kind of starting to cop a little bit of wear. So when I got this one in the mail from Loctote, I wasn't really expecting it to be the size that it is. I thought it was going to be a lot smaller, and I didn't realize the capacity was this big. So this is a 22 litre backpack. To give you a bit of a comparison, the can that you see me with, not the little tiny one, but the bigger one, that's a 20 litre. So that fits a 17-inch laptop. So this Cinch pack's actually a little bit bigger than that, and you can kind of see, once we get into some of the details in the internal pockets, just where that extra volume is. So a couple of things to point out about these backpacks and why Loctote's products are quite unique in general is the whole premise of the brand is that you can basically take your backpack out, or you know, the tote that I was showing you before, have a bunch of your really important, really expensive gear in it, and essentially lock it to something that's technically an immovable object. So you're looking for something pretty sturdy, like a light post, or you know, some of the poles and things that are around on walkways. Something like that is perfect. Obviously you don't want them to be able to loop it back over the top, so it's got to be fixed to the ground in a pretty sturdy way, but something like that is perfect for locking up the Cinch pack or whatever Loctote product you've got. So it comes with a inbuilt lock, which is pretty cool, and that's sort of one of the first, I guess, differences from a traditional backpack, is that it's lockable and it's got an inbuilt system with it. These straps double as backpack straps, but this is the part that you will then fix to a pole or something like that. So you basically pull the straps out enough that you can see these little eyelets. You've got to pull them through pretty tight, and you can see that the eyelets start to show, and basically that will let you thread the lock through. That locks that off. It will then also affix the ends of the straps around the pole, and then you've essentially locked your bag up. There's plenty of tutorials online as how to lock those up, so I know Loctote have a few online as well, so check those out if you want more of an in-depth look at how to lock it up. Internally, this bag's pretty awesome, and it's one of those bags that from the outside kind of looks pretty unassuming. It is designed beautifully. It's got leather touches here for where your clip fits in there, and then the carry handle and this trim here is leather as well, but you know, all in all, pretty unassuming. On the inside though, it's got a padded laptop sleeve, so that'll fit a 17-inch laptop easily, which is the size of my laptop, probably the size of most of yours as well. It's got a couple of little sleeve internal pockets, I guess you would call it, and then one of the first things that I noticed, which was far more technology first than a lot of other backpacks I've seen, is an RFID padded internal pocket. So if you keep your wallet, your phone, anything like that in there, that's going to protect you from people essentially stealing your identity. If you want to know how that works, get on the Loctote site. They talk through how that's possible and why it's really important to start considering products like this, especially when traveling. But just know that it's got an RFID pocket. On the outside, it's got these two little water bottle pockets. So they say they're ideal for water bottles, but I actually use them for my camera mounts and my 360 pole as well. So they fit those camera bits and pieces quite nicely, and I kind of like having those pockets be a little bit deeper. It means they're not so shallow that stuff's gonna fall out. So that was really important for me as well. The space internally is quite deep. The only thing I found with this bag, especially when I was putting things like my camera cube that's about this size in there, was it can be a little bit tricky with the top of the bag to kind of slip things in and out. I was able to get both my camera cube and my drone cube in here, but I would say that you've got to have those cubes pretty well packed, because I don't think there's a whole lot extra that's not kind of modular that you could fit in with your gear. So if you've got really modular stuff, or you've got kind of little zip bags like this that are easy and they kind of slip in quite well, that would work. But having a few loose objects in there, I think, will probably make it a little bit tough for you to pack. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that whatever you're packing in here is kind of nice and modular. Weirdly, they've got a little bottle opener on this, so that's kind of cool. It's just one of those, I guess, kitschy little features that I kind of liked. This is made of brass. It's pretty sturdy. It's the same with the little grommets that they've put on the stress points, I guess. So they've got those down here as well on your strap, so it's pretty sturdy. They've got this cool sort of hidden back pocket as well, which I quite like. I like those pockets when they're hidden, especially if you're traveling through airports and things like that. You know, if you could throw your passport in there, you can easily get to it, but you know that no one's gonna sort of pinch it or wander off with it too easily anyway. The other thing that I've been doing, especially when I've been traveling with this one on the bike, is I've been rolling up the flat sack and just kind of sitting it in next like that, next to my camera cube. So when I get off the bike, I'm able to take that out, lock that up with anything else that I want to leave on the bike, knowing that I can either leave both of these or just this one, and take the cinch pack with me away, depending on sort of what I'm doing. So the other day I went out with it, I was doing a little bit of hiking, and I was able to throw a bunch of stuff in the flat sack, and then I took this up the mountain with me, which worked really well. The grey area is waterproof or water resistant, so I guess it's not super waterproof, but it is water resistant. And the other cool thing about all of the externals on this backpack is that they're Slashproof. So one thing I guess you're probably thinking is, if you leave this on your bike, what happens if someone decides to try and cut through the straps to, you know, get it off the bike or get it off, you know, a pole that you've attached it to? What happens? And that's kind of the whole point of the Loctote range, is that they're built to a certain specification, so they are Slashproof, they're cut proof. Like there's a clip of a guy on the Loctote site trying to cut through this with a large set of cutters, and it's just kind of crazy the resistance that they've built into this strap. I found it really comfortable on the bike. I was a little bit nervous about these straps. They've obviously tried to make them quite sturdy, and I was a bit worried that that was going to be, I guess, a bit tough on my shoulders, but I found it to be really comfy. They are adjustable as well, so again, brass fixtures, but these adjusted totally fine, and I was able to get a pretty comfy fit on the bike. They aren't the cheapest backpack on the market. They go for $229 US, a little bit more Aussie, but you know, for what you get and the safety and security you get, they're second to none. You're definitely investing in a backpack like this for a whole range of activities. It's not just your typical backpack, so paying a little bit extra to know that you've got the security of leaving that and having it safe when you return, I think is pretty awesome. Like I said, I'll be doing a bunch of other reviews on a couple of other Loctote products as well, so keep an eye out for that. Let me know what you think. If there was anything I didn't cover in the video, throw it in the comments below and I'll answer. And as always, stay friendly, ride daily, and I'll see you next time.